Hello everybody and welcome. We are here with some more... Oh yeah, that's right, sorry. Here with some more 40k Rogue Trader. Leaving off from the last episode, we had just taken out all of these guys here, saved the tech priest that was getting tortured, sadly we couldn't save them all, and now we are trying to find the hidden tech priests. Now we have to go through here and give a very specific code.
I always have a backup plan.
And they'll pop up. We can do this after we've done the code though only. Yeah, let's get them down. Okie dokie, so apparently we didn't even need the code.
Keep your wits about you.
Okay, I'm going to show you what happened. I spent a while, and I basically started running into every room like this and onto whatever, and then I remembered back in this room, the wall actually flipped out. And while I couldn't find any levers, I just ran at walls.
Would you look at that?
And then, would you look at that?
Hey,
And then you
what's
run
that?
at this wall. And then
Always
these go
keep
here,
your
and
eye on
then
the prize.
Techbri's body rests on the metal table, surrounded by sparkling spirals of copper coils. A patina of sacred unguents covered his writhing flesh. His augmentings have been polished with great care. Intricate electrocuted covered and dead man's crossed arms and bare torso, and strands of wire envelop his head. Pascal bows respectfully bows his head before the dead man and carefully touches the shriveled body with the tip of his Mechanicus. Honored adherent, thank you for showing us the truth of the fabricated General Petrovant Maxim. Death does not end the service of a spirit driven. So then we're going to examine the body. The body seems motionless, but you notice a slight tremor in the fingertips. The ancient servant along Messiah must be data dreaming. His mind, enveloped in digital reverie, can persist for hundreds or thousands of years while his frail body is decaying. This sacred state of trance is a great reward only earned by the wisest and most pious servants of the machine god. Now, next to the table the body is resting on, you see a small amulet crafted from burnt cognitator circuit boards. There is no dust on these small offerings that were clearly left here recently. Did you hear me, Dick Priest? The light of the crypt becomes a little brighter and sharper, and the smell of the ooze feels mummified. Box on the ceiling comes alive and lets forth. In this, it looks forth a solemn binaric aria that turns into a crackling, somnolent voice. In this dark hour, I am ready to bring you good tidings, tech brethren. Now respond with the words of the second galvanic hymn. A hymn is a revered and meticulous prayer of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Naturally, you know it very well. Stick to ordering amongst our corpse. Let us praise the twin charges, the electric body of the Omnissiah who lights the spark of reason within us, and let us carry his charge to those who have turned their mind towards his light. Let it be indeed. Under attack by heretics, can you help? In my data dream, I saw the unholy request and rejected them angrily, for it is said in the 4th article of security, no unbeliever's hand shall intrude upon the operation cycle. They have seditious designs on the relic, but should I give you, who does not belong to our faith and fellowship, my blessing to stand up to the blasphemers. I may not be a member of your priesthood, but you and I are of the same faith. This statement is true. The first article of security says, fear above all evils, the defilement of knowledge, and its command its command outweighs the prohibition contained in the 6th Article of Security, let knowledge be locked away from the ignorant. Sorry. So be it in the name of shaming the unbelievers, I grant you the blessing of special access and protection from the rage of the motion force. Dry cackling sounds come from inside the crypt's walls as awakened cognitators process the ancient tech priest command. It's shock damage, pretty good. And if you
rise to the top or get left in the dust.
He actually gave us the first hit, and we had to respond with the second hit. I haven't gone this far. Pilgrim, I need the first word reveal to you the gift hidden behind the veil of knowledge. Through our vein. Twin poles, opposite sides that herald the motion of current. That was the second one. Spread. Oh, contract. Maybe also one. And immortal reason that has curved spark. String goes dark and just with it. But
let us not dawdle.
Anyway, we'll get it. We know where it is now. Oh crap, I didn't write that down. Or I'm completely fucking wrong. Only the words of the first. Yeah. Actually, you know it very well. Search. Gift. Pilgrim, only the words of the first incurable beauty that gifts hidden behind the veil of knowledge can let us sing this canticle too. Oh.
I always have a backup plan.
No idea. Maybe I had to talk to these guys. But we're gonna level up. Getting close to. Half the bonus grant of our West Coast. Oh, that's pretty good. Like so, uses. Do not grant an extra turn anyone around the officer against the stand witness near. No. Oh, until the end of combat, that's pretty good. Oh. Whenever an ally starts a turn, adjacent eyes with the voice command effect damage seems. Anything he gets for the right, keep him. Don't know. But we're gonna go with bonus to weapon skill equal to 9 and deal plus 6 more damage on attacks. No. Who targets an ally with an action. No. Oh, that was that one. No respite. That's full. We're just gonna pinch that off so he's full. Now I need go. Attacks an enemy that is a full wound, no, and then whenever the operative triggers an exploit on an enemy, the operative gets +1 damage and +2% armor penetration until the end of combat. Only applies with the first strike or projectile in a burst attacks. Want warp features. Oh, here we go. Plus 24% additional armor against fire. Psychic gains additional 24% plus 20% additional armor against fire damage. Half this amount is additional armor against energy damage. All enemies adjacent to the psychic no fire within. Every time the psychic kills or scores critical hit against 8 creatures. Jesus. Every time the enemy suffers damage from the psychic, that enemy's armor is reduced by -5%. The enemy's armor is already 0. Its deflection is reduced. When the psychic is burning, that sparks the breach flame. All damage over time. Effects applied by the psychic grant a 15% critical hit chance. This chance is increased by all bonuses to critical hit chance. See, that's not bad because they also do poison. Let's backdraft. Yep. I like sparks to the crater flame. Yeah. More willpower. Every shot fired by the soldier bears a +1 agility. Jeez. Combat medic. Killing ally. Combat restores additional wounds. No. Soldier's demolition. To determine area, additional damage dealt with ranged area attacks. I don't have enough bullets for everybody. Soldier's second attack action in a turn deals 17 more damage to enemies that do not know. Fortress. Full cover, no. Point blank. Tenderize. No. Just quickly going through. I'm just trying to. Remember what they all do. Required strength save everyone. I do want to give a heavy bolter. If I can get one. I don't know if I can. Don't really care about power weapons. Don't care about that. Melter weapons, light weapons, don't care about that. Heavy weapon proficiency, maybe heavy armor proficiency. Once I have strength of 45, I can get that. That'll probably be pretty good. Echo pulse, no. No, and no. Okay. Bolt weapon expert. +10 armor, 10% armor penetration. Breaking point. +1 and +10% damage and ignore 2 deflection. Wow. So it's either just armor penetration or reduces more heal if you know. The Minister and Priest gains +3 armor penetration with chained and power weapons. Critically it's no. Level 3 levels of no. Oh, me, it doesn't reduce charge, pretty cool. All soldiers are attacking on the double gun when used after entrench grants an additional 6 weapons hold. First hit of every ranged burst attack deals an additional damage equal to the weapon's current fire rate. That's pretty good. I use burst all the time. It's just the same thing again. There we go, it's literally just the same thing again. Nope. Nope, okay, we're going with bolt weapon expert. Does he not have epicenter of slaughter? It's blade fury. Issues a slash increases the damage dealt by slash by 1. Open engagement. There are no enemies adjacent to the warrior at the start of the turn. The warrior's damage is increased by 8 for 1 attack, or charge and push increase the damage of ranged attacks made against affected enemies. Nah. Shearing strike when the warrior uses slash with 2 melee weapons equipped, the warrior does damage. Oh, that's pretty good, but I'm not doing that anymore. Does he have any archetype talents that I like? If the warrior has not attacked this turn, they gain plus 24% armor. Charge and slash do not affect this bonus. Okay. That's not bad for just sitting there and tanking it out with somebody. Shoot, no. Maybe open engagement. No. Warrior's critical damage is increased by 8% against enemies not armed with melee. No. Melee attacks deal an additional 3 damage to enemies who have no allies. No. Whenever an enemy attacks the warrior's next melee attack against that enemy deals more damage. No, not like any of those. Just thinking epicenter of slaughter was clenched teeth. By every enemy this combat. Okay. The warrior, no desolation. What is that? Contempt, yes. No heresy. Nah. We should like more kind of chain weapon expert. Plus 4 damage. He's using a sword at the moment, though. He's using a power sword. I did want to give him really what's going on here. I already have big skin. Whenever the warrior's attacked again, +1 stack of every center of slaughter until the end of combat. At the start of the turn, the warrior gains +1 temporary wound for each stack. These wounds cannot exceed 7. Nah. I did like. Scars. Turn near an enemy affected by a small enemy with the warrior gets +9 every year. No. Yeah, we got that one. Did look at it for a little while. Sorry. Enemies in a 5-cell radius around the naval officer, while the braced effects last, suffers -10 weapon skill and ballistic skill. And then we got Medicaid. Why not? We got Tweak on his all, exposed weakness, also reduces the toughness. No. Without pretty true and exploding against an enemy, it gets +1 damage +1 pressure until the end of combat. This attack only applies to the first strike or projectile that a burst attack stack. No. And then no. If you turn, they deal +2 more damage with them. No, because they do move a lot. Under the effects of the machine spirit communities, melee attacks deal in addition +15% damage. That's pretty good. because I do use Machine Spirit Communion quite a lot. Do you have anything else? Character others. Oh, okay, yeah, no. An expert. No, meh. Now. External power block. This character gains an additional attack with a plasma weapon in the first round of combat, and when reloading a plasma weapon for the first time each subsequent round. Done. Yeah, because everyone's Doki. Do you have cool, got superhumans? Skewered threats, no. No, you won't be 6 hours. Yep. Nope. Psychic powers have a range of 2 cells as a no. Power to use each turn increases no. No and no. So, yeah, no. Arms of heroes, the Psychic Sire rating is increased by 1 until the end of combat every time ally uses. First time that momentum reaches 200 during the Psycho's turn, the Psycho gains +5 to all characters, +1 to resolve, and +1 to deflection, and +1 to all damage that the Psycho deals until end of combat. That's a winner. No. Not right now. Yep, I like that one. And athletics, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna save because I'm gonna do that again.
Keep your wits about you.
Dar Impulse 6. A shortish, muscular man wearing a scarlet colours of the priesthood of Mars steps into your path. The wrinkles on his cheeks and forehead point to his propensity for frequent outbursts of fierce anger, but right now he's showing no signs of aggression. Glowing blue patterns of electric tattoos or electus show through his oddly bluish tinted skin. A tight bandage covers the man's eyes, yet he turns his face straight toward you with no hesitation. He has a sharp, screeching voice, not unlike a bird's cawing. May the charge of the Omnissiah's mercy persist in the hands of the faithful. Sorry about that reading, that was terrible. And then may the motive force persist in their batteries. And Road Trader, declare this monastery to be under my protection. Sure. Rogue Trader, seen as Valencia, the man base said, the motive force brought you here at the right time, Pilgrim. The hallowed electrodynamic cenobium receives you, Pilgrim. I am Dar Impulse 6, a servant of the motion force, and the praetor electroid of this sacred monastery. Pascal bows. He bows back. Pascal bows down humbly before the man. A trill of binary signals come from his vox, to which the praetor responds with a solemn gesture of blessing. Pascal turns to you and says, the rank of praetor electroid is a sign of high standing within the electro-priest fraternity. To have been granted an audience is a great honor. You have the honor of hosting the Road Trader of House von Valencia. I urge you to follow proper etiquette when interacting with the eminent bearer of a sacred warrant. Within these words, worldly titles are nothing before the motive force. Your deeds, however, speak far louder than titles, for your path is blazed with the blood of desecrators. I have a few questions about this place and the people in it. Truth is like light, and blocking its path is criminal. The Praetor Electroid nods majestically. Our faith imposes a duty of obedience on us. Every Electro Priest is given numerous Electrues that combined in a blessing Voltgeist, Jesus, like a poltergeist, but voltage, like an electric ghost. Circuit, allowing feeble flesh to withstand the might of the motive force. This is why our skin glows with its light, and our eyeballs and our eyes boil and melt when we are ordained. Yum. The omniscient tears is what we call this phenomenon, this dying away of unworthy flesh. As we shun the layperson's primitive means of looking at the world, we gain the ability to sense the motive force around us with our entire bodies. You are not like other members of the Adapters Mechanicus I have met. Who are you? Hard-working servants and dwellers of the Cenobium, Electro Priests of the Adapters Mechanicus. The Corpuscari did us a great honour by entrusting into our care the sacred relic around which the hollowed electrodynamic Cenobium was built. What precisely do you believe in? We have devoted ourselves to the worship of the aspect of the machine god which is known as the motive force. It is the blessed divine spark that creates impetus. It is the blessed divine spark that creates impetus in the universe. Omnisci, in his mercy, gave the world the gift of the motive force, and we follow its impulses in order to increase it, bring it to lay people, and protect it from unholy hands. A relic that this monastery protects provides the entire planet of Reactor Minoris with the blessed motive force, and we, unworthy though we are glad to serve the ancient machines that dwell in this place. Tell me more about your relic. That would be pointless to describe. The miraculous fusion reactor. Only through beholding its ferocious power can one comprehend its blessed essence. The fear the might of the Omniscire. Its core was found 4,000 years ago and delivered to Reactor Minoris by the holy warrior of faith, Loc Impulse. During one of his campaigns. Its sacred spark has not gone out for an instant, and the walls and power units of the Cenobium have been erected around the relic in order to protect it from ignorant laypeople, as well as protect them from its formidable might. Pastor keeps his solemn silence, but the quick clicking of his Mechanic claw betrays his excitement at being so close to the sacred Archaeotech. I am pleased to be the conductor of truth. Why are you calling me pilgrim? Only those lay people who desire to explain the motive force are allowed to cross this monastery's threshold. All others are profaners and criminals. You do not belong to the fraternity of Electro Priests, but your intentions are good. If you were not seeking the Omniscire's wisdom, then it was the motive force itself that brought you here to find it. What happened here, and how did you manage to survive? When the heretics descended in droves upon the Cenobium, we gave battle, but the unholy foes buried the Omniscire's warriors under a mass of their bodies, thus exhausting the defender's spark of purity. It was then that I ordered my few surviving brethren to retreat into the monastery's secret chambers. Upon taking refuge here, we began to destroy the blasphemous intruders in serendipitous ways. Alas, as fiery as the brethren's anger was, I had no right to permit them to die in honest combat, for the task of taking back our abode still lay ahead before us. I must commend the skill with which your secret chamber was concealed. You hear a tinge of wounded pride in Heinrich's words, as if he's upset about failing to discover the Electro Priest shelter. Your choice of tactics was wise as well. There was no point in losing more lives in the massacre that the cultists wrought. The leader of the heretics fought her way into the Ark, wherein dwells the miraculous fusion reactor. She is trying to desecrate the rite of operation with her unholy litany so that the relic may be corrupted and the world of my Reactor Minoris may perish in a font of fire. But my brethren in their magnetic meditation are hampering our efforts by channeling access request prayers in unison, thereby suppressing the commands that the blasphemer entered. The Praetor Electroid narrowly nods towards his entranced comrades. His holy place will be protected against the sacrilegious practices, I swear to it. In the monastery I was attacked by people that looked like Electropies. That is a lamentable mistake. We knew of no hope that was on its way and were not expecting to encounter any allies in the monastery's chambers, but I see that you are alive, and I mourn the senseless death of my brethren. I wonder if you would have so touchingly mourned the captain's death, or if such sentiments would have only been awoken by the sound of our void ship delivering a punitive strike from orbit. My enforcers and the governor's guards can help you reclaim the monastery. I cannot allow this. Lay people are forbidden from visiting the monastery, and only a select few are allowed to behold the Ark and the relic within. You and your retinue are pilgrims of a special status bestowed by the Emperor. However, should any soldiers unblessed by the Omnissiah cross this monastery's threshold, I will deem them a heretic and have them put to death. Fair enough. Confirmed, the presence of lay people on monastery grounds without the Praetor Electrode's blessing will be regarded as a sacrilegious violation of the holy rites of operation. Heinrich opens his mouth for a second to say something, but changes his mind and quietly clears his throat instead. Sure, better to die protecting their lumens and coils than to accept help from unworthies, and we're left to deal with the mess as usual. Person of faith would never have hidden and let the enemy take over their temple. Scoff was under no misconception that anything resembling a fighting spirit could be expected from humble priests. You made the right decision when you chose to avoid combat and save yourselves. Thank you, Pilgrim. It was not easy watching unholy intruders stampede through the chamber of my temple. We all envied our brethren who had fallen before the sacrilege began. I wish to get to the holy reactor. The Ark is hidden from pilgrims' eyes, but consider the extraordinary circumstances of your visit to this monastery. I grant you that right. The hall that leads to the higher reliquary has been barred by the enemy, but I will open a secret path for you. Enter the Ark and experience the motive force, Pilgrim. We will pray to the security systems that they may refrain from punishing you for your intrusion. I must press on. May the odd charge at them was do we get in here then?
Is there money to be made?
There is more secret passages.
The Whispers told me a secret.
Oh, hello. Alright, let's try. Let us recite this canticle to the Omnissiah, from whom the holy discharges spring forth. The verse 2 calls to you, Pilgrim, let us fill our souls with gratitude towards the arcane key that closeth the circuit. May the unity of the sacred charges power, immortal reason that hath created the spark, the fullness soul, and the make death thereof. Disappointment. What do we do? Do we guess? Maybe we guess again. The motive force that floweth through veins of copper. Closed circuit wherein the path starts and ends. The tide and the knot. No, the mighty reactor that performs. I think it's Omnissiah, it's the first one. we're talking about closed circuits. Splendid resistor that conceals within them the right to transfiguration. And the watchful breakers that protect us from the sacrilege of sword, the hallowed contract. I think it's the arc. Because I saw gratitude towards the hallowed contracts whose touch conducteth the current. And something like that. Well, it closes, I think. I don't know. The immortal reason that hath created the spark. I think they did say something about spark. That works. I have no idea what I clicked, but there we go. That's like my
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
What do we got? 50% critical hit charge to range attacks against enemies with less than 50% wounds, and a arc rifle. What range do you have? Range is only 9. What do you got? Let's go basic arc rifle. Same thing. Sure, you hit multiple people. That's what I was gonna do. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, back to this place. Down we go. Into the
I
bowels
always
of the
keep my
monastery.
options open.
Boss fight time. Yeah. Aurora. The face of the woman who stands before you is hidden behind a grotesque barred mask. Yep, the voice pouring out beneath it belongs to somebody else. It is the husky, somber bass of a void wolf, a border of ships. How predictable your path is, how static all the possible deaths you have skirted, only to perish here in the fiery tempest that will mark the final dawn. The woman turns her mask to Pascal and gloats. You have arrived just in time, little cog. The schismaticals use your regalia like a mask to subdue the reactor. Pascal's voice rasped musingly. A cog. I cannot comprehend what apostates try to insult me by comparing me to the sacred symbol of our faith. It is irrational. His visor lights up like a crimson herald of bloodshed, and his drilling Mechandrite whirs viciously as it readies to strike. The sacred cock grides all corruption to dust. From the dust I will build order. I announce my arrival. What a talented enemy. Can you do the governor's voice? Step away from the sacred reactor and tell us. Silent heretic, your crazed preaching will not touch my mind. Do you cling to the blindness so desperately? Do you think it will protect you from the blinding radiance of the truth? The woman's voice breaks and shifts to a different pitch and timbre. A martyr's voice, young, fervent, and in pain. Time has all but run out. I cannot hear the first of the future. I can hear the fist of the future knocking on the door of the present. Choose quickly what you want to be when it walks in. A brave, blind slave to what is gone, a faithful servant to what is to come, or a corpse. I would take some time to wrest from you the details of the future that the cult prophesizes. Hopefully when we're done, what's left of you will still be capable of coherent speech. What you'll be is a living torch blazing for his glory. Argenta's voice burns with pure hatred and trembles with impatience to make you the promise come true. Your people on my head. Why? Brother Twilight, known to you as Kunrad, marked you as a target. Your foiling of his plan sealed your death warrant. It is now a predestined certainty that changes can no longer affect. Are you trying to blow up the reactor? I am lighting the spark of the final dawn. Sometimes the future revealed in the edge of daybreak's visions is fragmented between the facets of possibility, and the view is unclear. I have glitched the importance of this place for what it is to come, and I have solved the puzzle. The flash of the purity will transform this world and bring it closer to the immaterium, or the void space, chaos realm, whatever, in which it will be reborn. False believers will perish in the fire, whilst the faithful will find their salvation and their new form in it. You will never tame the spirit of this ancient and noble machine, ignorant lay person. It does have a vile temper, but I have assistants who can help tame it. The woman nods casually towards the maimed electro priest, whose hands are affixed to the control panels with steel stakes. I don't see them. Ah, there he is. One of the servants of the Omnissiah cast a tortured glance at you, his voice trembling with horror. Blasphemous spirits have crawled under our skin and into our sacred iron. Take the motive force of our bodies, I implore you. We do not wish to offend the Omnissiah with the sacrilege our hand is committing. They resisted for a long time, but now their bodies and souls belong to the schematicals. Line after line, the scrap code they produce will awaken the reactor's unyielding spirit as well, and it too will yearn for change and freedom. Who are you? My name is known to you. I am Aurora, servant to the Uralon the Cruel, and the spark of the final dawn that is destined to set Rykat Minoris ablaze. A great path for one who was born into the Imperium's bondage which shunned her predestination in favour of the changes promised by the edge of daybreak. Whose servant are you? Is Uralon a dead? Or just another heretic? Edge of daybreak. Is that your unholy patron? Why are you blinding people? What servitude are you talking about? What predestination? So, what is this final dawn? Is it all your followers ever talk about? Is that your unholy patron, the edge of daybreak? Our teacher, our saviour, our merciful God, born in the immaterium, out of the woes of those labouring under the legacy of ignorance and servitude. You cannot see the woman's face behind her mask, but judging by her tone of malicious triumph, you can swear she is smiling. And he remembers you, Sigismund von Valencia, the silly saviour fantasy. You led your people out of the firing trap on the officer's deck and arrived too late to run away with Ethelred. You have been acting out amuses the true masters of those people's fate. Is Uralon a daemon or just another heretic? Resounding laughter comes from behind the mask. Your flippancy is so amusing. Why you have no inkling of the chasm that separates us. He is a prophet who foresaw our impending doom and who graciously bestowed upon us the right to choose a different path. He is a shard of ancient wisdom from a time before we were slaves to our bitter predestination. Rogue Trader, I cannot wait to close this creature's mouth with the seal of death. Or are you saving this glorious deed for yourself? So what is this final dawn your followers ever talk about? The salvation from a death whose name is yet unknown, but whose approach is sensed by many. Soon it will claim every inhabitant in the Chronos expanse. Do you think anyone will come to our aid when cataclysms shake our homes and planet-wide genocides are unleashed? Will the Emperor help, or the idol of iron they call the Omnissiah? No, we will die alone and abandoned. Only one deity is promising salvation, the edge of daybreak. Mercy and salvation will come to all who believe in him and purify their souls in the light of the final dawn. I don't care. Where are you blinding people? Do you think they are blinded? They see far more than you do through refractions. Reflections in mirrors blessed by the energies of the Immaterium. The edge of daybreak reveals to them visions of true existence and gives them glimpses of what is to come. The eyes lie. That is very true, actually. Our erstwhile masters have taught them to see only what is consistent with the lies they tell. The gift we give is that of true sight. Guess what I see when I look at you. In that case, you consider losing the eyes too, sister, because your visions are all wrong. My whispers are telling me something completely different about who dies here and how. I won't spoil the surprise, let's just say it will come as quite a shock to you. That's pretty funny. I think that's enough talk, Herital. Dogmatic attack in the name of the God Emperor, die, foul creatures. Execute them in the name of the Edge of Daybreak. Electro Priest rips their hands off the command consoles, rending their flesh on the stake that pierced them as the schismatical control bodies are imbued with the motive force of radiance. All the unfortunate can do is scream in horror and plead for a swift death. Aurora begins, muttering an unholy litany in broken Gothic. That's not good. Willpower, as you cannot make out her blasphemous words, but the name the heretic keeps repeating, the Edge of Daybreak, digs into your hearing like a blade into defenseless flesh. It sounds as almost physically painful. Its sound is almost physically painful. It spawns strange and impossible phantoms in your mind. However, you manage to muster your strength and banish them.
You will beg for mercy, but I will grant none.
Surrender to the dark powers!
Goes from 24. Spider, Electro Priest, Spider. Here we have. There's really not many problems yet. Okay, excellent. Kiel, who's going? You, then who are you? Who are you? Try and shoot like across. That's a pretty good split. Yep, let's go. Yeah.
I refuse. I'll do it.
Missing one dead.
As the Emperor commands, I act. You, my Emperor!
Okay. Do I have to bump these guys? Okay, 2 fools to sounds a bit worried there.
The Emperor is on our side. I'm done with this one.
Call me enough in the case.
Be gone.
One left, I can. Probably want to do duo.
But of course, Lord
He's getting
Captain.
so I need to defend. Yeah, I need to get to those tech priests quick spot. Can I one tap him? No.
Don't let your guard down.
Penetrates through. Nope. And does more damage. Excellent. I'm tempted to bring it down. Let's freeze speaking of that.
I'll make it happen.
But of course. Be gone!
Excellent.
Cover me!
Training and duty go hand in hand.
Yeah, it's exposed weakness. You're done. Yeah, that's right. Kill your friends.
Heavy is the tread of his faithful. Request approved.
Shooting mission 15.
Significant value.
Excellent.
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Cogitation failed.
I know what is to come. Was it you? Or
Kick. Damn it.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
Pressed the wrong button. What happened to her? You knocked yourself out. Why not? Can't let her click the boot.
stop mocking.
Chaos guides me.
Let's go. Really would like it to be his turn. Just fucking running away.
Doubt is for the weak. For you! Rejoice in battle! As the Emperor commands, I act. I am his will made manifest. I'll do it. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Everyone, step aside.
See what I can do here. Let's go rid of the Emperor. Charge them.
Naturally. I won't object to it.
I'll see to it. Another enemy down. On it. Who if not me?
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
Advancing. Running by near side.
Yeah, I should do the first one. Let's go with
Request approved. Running binary chloride. The Omniscient knows all, comprehends all.
A tactically sound approach. Ha-ha! Reduced to dust! It will be done. At your beck and call.
Suffering is part of the trials.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. I'll do it. Struck is a prayer. As the Emperor commands, I act. Guided by faith!
Let's see to it. For the throne's good, nothing stands against me. I won't object to it.
I'll see to it personally.
There is movement in the Empyrean.
I'll make it happen.
As the tactical imperative dictates. Functions successfully terminated.
They who discern the future on the battlefield. Will do. Ah! Ah! Anything else? Ah!
High momentum.
Victory is target well struck. No matter the cost! Indeed.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Doubt is for the weak. This is unacceptable. Faith without deeds.
Don't even talk stuff like this!
With penetration, single shots are able to pierce through enemies and deal damage only to the salesman's character staying behind them. Penetration, no penetration, blah 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 blah, character's talents. Excellent.
I'm done with this one. Get me a target. I'll put my psychic abilities to use.
I'll see to it personally.
Cover me!
Will endure.
Activate calculated fury algorithm.
That's right.
Request approved. Running binary right.
They need to stop yelling at these guys.
I know what is to come. Ah!
Follow my lead.
He's supposed to be using that.
At your beck and call. I will do my duty.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. I'll do it.
Enough. Now an age rattling voice speaks to you from behind the bloodstained mask. You are powerless to halt the approach of what is to come. I see a crimson trail, a huge warp storm stretching across the galaxy, the result of a catastrophic rift in real space, leading humanity to its doom. I see the glow of the final dawn, and that means existence has made its choice. A dagger flashes in Aurora's hand. She drives it into the control panel with all her strength. Now you will see it too. A binding voltaic arc bursts forth from the broken control panel and strikes at Aurora. This uncanny mask. Its metal heats up. Smoke billows through the bars. With a howl, the cultist collapses. The light is gone. was it, the final dawn? But why was it so different from what our teacher promised? Aurora shakes her head blindly. Her voice is now the voice of an ordinary middle-aged woman, frightened and in pain. You will pay for this. You will. You. The woman's body goes limp and collapses on the floor. Her iron mask hits the ground with a dull thud. Pascal examines her corpse with contempt, and then concludes dryly, confirming purgation and termination. Heretic grimaces. The heretic took her secrets with a pity. I said it would come as a shock to her, didn't I? Her eyes literally sparkled with astonishment. Indira's smug grin gives way to an expression of concern. That said, my friends from behind the door won't come down. They keep sneering and goffering, as if the joke's on us and not her. Yeah, I was going to say someone else is coming from it. But why is the freaking Pascal? Heinrich approaches Aurora's body and leans over it. A minute, please, Sigismund. I need no more than a minute. Xenos lower inspects the control panel damaged by Aurora. Successful. The cognitator is probably well beyond repair, but your attention is drawn away from the sacred machine and towards the dagger sticking out of the control panel. On closer inspection, it turns out to be the lavishly decorated handguard of a sword whose blade had been pried out. Its pommel is decorated with a strange adornment resembling an eye covered with a scaled lid. What remains of the blade has a blue sheen to it, the same tint as Conrad's weapon during the mutiny on your voyage. This is not a human-made object. It was grown from wraith bone, a material favoured by the Eldari. An Eldari material composed of crystalline psychic energy used in the creation of everything from art pieces to craft worlds, and an ancient and highly advanced alien race that once dominated the galaxy. As you lean over the shard, you suddenly hear a multitude of voices. They blend together and individual words are distorted as though they are mocking our attempts to grasp their meaning. The nagging whisper is like a burning red scratch on an unholy claw upon our mind. Heretic, serendipitously take a look over here. Is this by any chance what you're looking for? And then toss the shard into the depths of the reactor. I'm gonna take it. You touch the abomination, the whispers in your ear become louder and more bloodthirsty. You pocket the trophy. Sword handgun. Trophy before the interrogator appears at your shoulder. Heinrich gives you an appraising look, then shifts his gaze to the cognitator's control panel. An impressive blow. I suppose whatever she used to breach the frame was melted by the impact of the motive force. Rogue Trader, on behalf of the Holy Orders, I thank you for your cooperation and release you from requisition. From this moment on, I am at your service. I am ready to come aboard your ship and head for football as soon as you deem it possible. That is, if you do not have other business in the system, in which case I am prepared to assist you in its prompt resolution. I remove her mask. The iron helm is firmly attached to the heretic's flesh. Her face is impossible to make out in the darkness behind the bars of her mask, but after prying at it for a little longer than necessary, you wonder if, for a moment, you saw something move. Let us finish cleansing the monastery, Pascal. Executing. Let the omnicide given motive force flow and all obstructs in its path be eradicated. Pascal. Excellent. Now to loot.
I always have a backup plan.
We can't even loot it. Whatever, what goes to the fun thing? So there's nothing else in here for me.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Oh, you can't loot it. I was gonna say that's bullshit because what do we get? A blast. It was prism, a glass prism crafted by the heretics at the final duel, sorry, the cultists at the final duel, and it belonged to their leader Aurora. If you look through it long enough, your visions begin to deceive your mind, showing that what could be instead of what is, and all attacks of opportunity deal an additional 3 damage. Meh. Miraculous fusion reactor. It's only miraculous because they don't understand how it works.
Is there money to be made?
Funny. Looks all fancy and stuff, but like they can't build this. They can like barely maintain it and keep it alive. Is that another one? A hallowed electrocuted atmosphere in Abram. Greet its fever. May the charge of the officer, blah blah blah. What am I doing? But clear has a significant role to play in the future, preordained by the weavers of destinies to part within the shards, would mean losing the trust of the road traders' patrons. Chaos needs followers. There's only one way to prove the road traders' might to servant, by committing acts against mortals in the name of chaos. You find a second sword shard. The road trader was told to seek the second dawn, presumably meaning another sword shard. Okay. Master, so like it's analyze suspicious message containing code reference call sign. A guarded shuttle is ready to transport the little captain to the void ship. Life. Breed to sarcasm if you're seeing this mineral resistance version is essentially complete. Ah, okay, yeah. On the ship. I don't know what that means. Assuming that means not finished. Yeah. Yes, we can go look at that now. We definitely will. Okay. Back to the void ship.
Let us not dawdle.
Alright everyone, that is going to have to happen next time. Today's episode is already quite long. I just wanted to finish everything up and make sure, yeah, it was all good and finished up, because it was going to be like, 15-20 minutes of another episode and then fucking around. So happy to do it now. I want to get it sorted. Have everyone a good finish. So thank you for watching everybody. I hope you enjoyed it, and join us next time for some more 40k Rogue Trader, and we'll see what mischief we can get into. Peace.